Hey guys, Dino Gomez here, and in this video training today, I'm going to be walking you through 101 profitable online coaching niches. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so in this video today, we're going to be covering 100 different profitable online coaching niches for you to get started with your online coaching business. Before we get into that, guys, what's really important is to actually identify which niches are profitable and which ones aren't. And so as we dive into this training here, we have to understand why people buy, all right? And so there's this cliche saying that goes something like this: people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Well, what I've actually discovered, guys, that's allowed me to grow my coaching business beyond 7 figures is that actually people buy from people they know, like, trust, and relate to. All right, and so relating to somebody is really important in order for you to easily generate clients in sales. And this is why some coaches that get started and just become a generic life coach struggle to actually get clients. So let me explain how a buying process, what works from a psychological standpoint. The first phase before anybody purchases anything is really the research phase. All right, after the research phase comes the interest phase, where they're more interested, they're getting closer to their actual buying decision. And then finally, as they're researching competitors, they actually go ahead and purchase an actual product and or coaching service in this example. Now, to give you guys a little bit of a background story on how this works from a psychological standpoint, I absolutely love comedy. I love comedy movies and I love stand-up comedy. So one night when my wife and I were actually watching Netflix, which we rarely do, we sat down and I was browsing the comedy section, okay? And what happened is I came across Kevin Hart for the first time. All right, and so here is how my decision process actually worked. First, I was looking at the comedy section. Then I was looking at stand-up comedy. Notice how we're getting more specific towards the actual basically purchase or buying decision. And then I came to stand-up comedy that I could relate to, right? I was looking at all the titles of the different episodes. The one I could relate to the most was Kevin Hart. He had just come out with this series called I'm a Grown Little Man. Now, I immediately thought this had to be hilarious because the fact of the matter is I'm like 5'5" myself. So I knew all of his jokes were going to be about being short, and I can relate to that. So I knew that he was going to be absolutely hilarious to me. All right, and so that's why I chose this episode, and that's why I thought and still believe he is the absolute funniest comedian out there, is because I relate to a ton of his short jokes, all right? And so that is how the actual buying decision process works. Now let's look at some other examples in the actual coaching space as well. First, we'll look at an example in the product space so that you guys can really understand this. If you were just to go out there and start a dog food brand or company, it would be very difficult. You'd probably have very little success because it's just too broad and generic and the market is saturated, okay? What people would do, right, initially is they might be looking for dog food. Then they might decide, hey, I'm actually, what I'm in need of is healthy dog food. All right, now if you got really specific with your messaging and with your actual branding, if you came up with organic dog food that is healthy and it's just for Labradors, you would have a much higher success rate, simply because, right, you can imagine everybody who has a Labrador and wants to feed them healthy food, you would become the go-to brand and the only option for them, right? So rather than having a million competitors, the more specific you get, the more of a perfect solution you are to your target audience. All right, now let's again look at this in the coaching space. A major mistake I always see is online coaches coming out and they just become a life coach, quote unquote life coach, okay? The problem is it's just too generic. Most people don't even know what that means. And again, you're not being specific enough to a particular audience. All right, so in the buying cycle, right, instead of being a life coach, you can take it one step deeper. You can become a spiritual coach for women. All right, now all of a sudden you have a specific audience, and when somebody asks you what you do, you say, I'm a spiritual coach for women, right? If they're actually a female, right, and are looking for help in the spiritual space, then all of a sudden you're an option for them. There's going to be a lot more resonance there. All right, but let's take it one step further, all right? What if you become, right, a spiritual coach for busy moms? All right, now you have completely niched down. And now when you're at a cocktail party or no matter where you are online and people ask you what you do or who's the go-to spiritual coach for moms, right, you're basically the only option, all right? And this makes it so easy to attract clients into your business and produce sales because your messaging is exactly what people are looking for. And so then there's just a huge trust factor and authority factor that you're the go-to in that particular, the go-to authority in that particular space. All right, now let's look at a real-life example here. If we look at, for example, in the fitness space here. This is one of our clients actually, is Kelly Renee. Now she took this exact strategy, right? Rather than just being another online personal trainer, right? She came up with a weight loss system specifically for busy moms, okay? And so her business company name is called Busy Mom Fitness. All right, so anybody who is a mom, right, and wants to lose weight, they're automatically going to go to her because she is the authority in the space. She specifically works with moms. She understands and sympathizes with how busy their schedule is, and so she has workouts and a diet plan and so forth that fits into their lifestyle, right? And so not only is she able to produce incredible results for her clients because her program and her coaching is so specific, but everybody knows that she is the go-to mom in that fitness space. Another one, right? If you guys have heard of Wake Up Warrior with Garrett White, he basically created a fraternity for married men, all right? And if we actually look up his website here and so forth, right? I'll pull this up, Wake Up Warrior, right? But it says right here, he's got the comprehensive system, right, for businessmen, all right, and for married men. And that's his messaging, right? And he's got 17,000 married men who gather together, right? And they talk about business and sales and marriage and all these different things and fitness, right? And he's very specific with his message. So rather than just being a coach, a business coach, right, he says, my system is for men, in particular married men who want to improve their business, all aspects of their life, their fitness, their sex life as well, and their relationship with their wife, right? And so very specific message, and this turned into, right, an 8-figure business for him because of that specific messaging, all right? And so I want to help you guys really understand how important your messaging is, and not just choosing a broad niche, but choosing a specific niche so that your audience immediately resonates with you. All right, and so this is how I came across this method after doing a lot of research and testing things out myself. But here is something that we teach inside one of our programs. It's called the Personality Matrix. The Personality Matrix is going to help you identify a profitable niche and message that's specific to you so that you eliminate all competitors, right? And it's much easier to get clients and grow your business, not just to 6 figures, but then to 7, right? This messaging is what differentiates, right, a coaching business that barely makes it, maybe only has just a couple clients, and one that absolutely dominates a space. All right, and so the Personality Matrix works like this, guys. It's a 3-step process. All right, but step 1, you find how people can relate to you, and you write that down. All right, step 2, you list all of your accomplishments, things you're interested in, or otherwise your target audience. All right, and then step 3, you find overlays between the two. All right, so let me give you an example of why this is so powerful. Is because people are more likely to buy from you if you have something in common rather than from the world's greatest expert in the field. All right, so using this strategy of niching down this far with specific messaging eliminates your competition. Let me show you guys some amazing examples. So this is the Personality Matrix I did for myself. All right, so step 1, I need to find out how can people relate to me, right? How can people relate to me, right? So I listed out all of the ways people might describe me, all right? They originally at the time, this is many years ago, I was considered an SEO expert, so I wrote that down. As far as demographics and so forth, my last name's Gomez, so I wrote down that I'm Hispanic and white heritage. I wrote down that I'm short, because that's an attribute you could use to describe me physically, and then I'm young. All right, step 2, I'm going to write down all of my expertise. All right, well, I have a very successful online business and was able to escape my 9-to-5 job. All right, I also have a case study where I was able to double my clients' revenue with Facebook ads in just 1 week. All right, so that was an accomplishment of mine. Also, I married my dream wife, so I thought, okay, that's something I'm proud of. That's another expertise accomplishment of mine, right? So step 3, I want to find overlays between the two so that I can have a very specific and branded personal message. All right, and so here were some possible niches for me to go after. The first one, right? How Mexican Americans can start an online agency. All right, you can see how that would be powerful because of my last name. There's so many trainings out there on how to start an online business, right? But if I got really specific and went after this demographic, they would be like, if they had to choose, they would say, I'd prefer to learn from Dino because we have the same background, same heritage, right? Another example, right? I could have gone with a training on how short guys can attract women or get a date, all right? That would have been powerful because I'm short myself, all right? And so other short guys would rather learn from another short guy, right? And rather than just a tall, really buff guy, right? People want to, that's the relation factor of people buy from people that are similar to them, all right? The third option I had, how SEO experts can use Facebook ads to land new clients. All right, and so the one I went with, guys, was the third one, right? How SEO experts can use Facebook ads to land new clients and grow their business. All right, and so what happened, guys, was this. If we look at this actual layout and chart right here, is that when I launched my Facebook ad course, there were thousands of Facebook ad courses. All right, and so the question we have to ask ourselves is, some of them were successful, some of them not so much, at all. But why was my course able to produce 7 figures in revenue while also gaining over 350 reviews from our members? Like, our members got insane results and are still getting insane results with our Facebook ads course. Why and how did that happen? Well, first off, my audience is this very particular audience of SEO experts, okay? And so amongst the thousands of Facebook ad courses, right, my messaging was very, very specific to them, right? I had a Facebook ad course for them, all right? And so when they're trying to choose between all of the competition, they were naturally always going to choose me because I designed a course that was specific to them and their problems. And so looking at like the opt-in page to my funnel, this was the opt-in page. It says how I landed 11 SEO clients in 1 month using one simple strategy, right? And so what happened is, rather than, when my SEO audience, my target audience, right, they were looking at hundreds of different Facebook ad courses trying to choose which one, they would come to mine and go, oh my gosh, this is a Facebook ad course for SEO agencies. I own an SEO agency. Dino's going to be able to show me, things that this course is more relevant to me, right? And so that's exactly what we want to do with our messaging, and why it's so important to niche down, because it makes you an instant authority, right? And so this is how you build a profitable niche, and we're going to reveal again, guys, the 100 different profitable niches, but this is how you actually build a profitable coaching business, is choosing a niche and writing messaging to a specific audience. All right, and so here's just a couple screenshots of what started happening online, right? These are inside different Facebook groups, but inside Facebook groups, somebody would ask, okay, I want to learn Facebook ads. Who has the best Facebook ad course? Well, every single time inside these Facebook groups that were for SEO experts that somebody asked this question, I was the only option. So everybody would always say, I recommend Dino Gomez. You can see in these screenshots, people are in different Facebook groups for SEO experts. They're like, who has the best Facebook ads course? They'd always say me, because my course was for SEO experts, and so it was very, very specific, right? All right, and these are things that other coaches won't tell you to do. They will tell you just become a life coach, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have so much competition, all right, and you're gonna have difficulties getting clients, right? You might get your first couple, but then all of a sudden you're gonna hit this glass ceiling. You really have to have dialed in messaging, right? And so, guys, what I was actually selling with my first program was Facebook ads. But what made it special was my messaging, right? This is not just a Facebook ad course. This is a Facebook ad course for SEO experts. So if you're an SEO expert, this program is designed for you to get results. And that's the cool thing about niching down, is I actually made my Facebook ad course specific for SEO agencies. And so because of that, the training was so good and so perfect for what they needed that we ended up with over 350 reviews, all right? And so it also made it so that all the major gurus out there who had a course before me and had more traffic than me and more authority than me and a bigger YouTube channel and all these things, it didn't matter because my messaging was so specific. All right, and so, guys, what I want to do right now is I want to help you guys find, right, your actual profitable online coaching niche. All right, and so beneath this video, guys, as promised, grab the actual PDF of 100 different online coaching niches to choose from. That will give you some inspiration and some ideas of directions that you can go. And then from there, we'll actually have the personality matrix for you as well, which will walk you through, right, how to create that very specific messaging, right, that eliminates your competition and pulls in a very specific audience that's ready to buy from you. All right, and so, guys, go ahead, grab that PDF beneath this video. If this video was helpful for you guys and brought you some insight and stuff like that, go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe button. Also, if you guys have any questions about growing an online coaching business, go ahead, feel free to drop off a question below. I read all the comments, and I'll go ahead and queue up another video for you guys. All right, so that's what I have for you guys today. We will see you in the next video.